August 1485, a new king, Henry Tudor, has just won the crown at Bosworth Field. England should be celebrating, but within weeks of his army arriving in London, a new kind of horror is unleashed. It wasn't the plague. It was faster, deadlier, and it made its victims sweat until they died. They called it Sudor Anglicus, the English sweat. It struck without warning. 1 minute you were perfectly healthy. The next you were seized by a terrifying sense of doom. Then came the cold shivers, dizziness, and a headache that felt like a hammer blow. And then, the heat. A burning, raging fever that forced the body to pour out rivers of sweat. Victims became delirious, their heartbeats hammered against their ribs, and a terrifying exhaustion settled in. If you caught it in the morning, you could be dead by sunset. The mortality rate was staggering, up to 50% in some areas. It didn't just kill, it erased people from existence in hours. This is where it gets truly bizarre. Most plagues of the time devastated the poor, living in crowded, unsanitary conditions. But the sweat had taste. It seemed to prefer the wealthy, the well-fed, and the powerful. It tore through the royal court of Henry VIII. The king himself was so terrified he fled London, sleeping in a different house every night, leaving his future queen, Anne Boleyn, to fight the disease alone at Hever Castle. Cardinal Wolsey caught it and barely survived 3 separate bouts. Thomas Cromwell lost his wife and daughters to it. No amount of wealth, status, or prayer could protect you. It was a disease that truly stooped the knave and knew his master. Imagine the absolute panic. No one knew how it spread. No one knew how to treat it. Physicians recommended staying awake for 24 hours, thinking that if you slept, you died. The uncertainty was as lethal as the sickness. It was a ghost that stalked the halls of power, leaving a trail of cold, wet bodies in its wake. The sweat didn't just stay in 1485. It returned in 5 distinct, brutal waves over the next 70 years. Each time, it appeared suddenly in the summer, decimated the population, and vanished with the first frost. And then, after the final outbreak in 1551, it was gone. It didn't evolve. It didn't become milder. It simply ceased to exist. In the entire history of epidemiology, this is almost unheard of. A highly infectious, incredibly lethal disease just vanishing? What was it? For over 500 years, scientists have been obsessed. Was it a form of relapsing fever spread by lice? Was it ergot poisoning from moldy rye bread? The leading modern theory points to a hantavirus spread by rodents that somehow jumped to humans in a uniquely violent way. But every theory has holes. We have no samples, no DNA, only the terrifying eyewitness accounts of Tudor physicians like John Caius. Think about that. A disease that terrified kings, changed the course of English history, and killed thousands in mere hours, is now a complete medical ghost. It is a puzzle we might never solve. But the most chilling question isn't, what was it? It's, where did it go? And more importantly, if it appeared once from the shadows, could it ever come back? The ghost of the sweating sickness might still be out there, waiting. Thanks for watching. If you love unraveling historical mysteries, make sure to subscribe. Now I want to know your theories. What do you think caused the Tudor terror? Let me know in the comments below.